Welcome to the Product Management Gist. Product management is an integral part of tech. And on this show, we will be discussing about everything that has to do with product management, product managers, and tech in general. Welcome to the show. On today's show, we'll be discussing about everything product management and product managers. I know some of you have heard about product management before and PMs. You just hear something like, I'm a PM. So we are going to be discussing about that today. And on the show today, I have with me, to my right, Kemi Oluwatosin. Kemi, welcome to the show.
Hi.
You are looking good, by the way.
Thank you.
Okay, and we also have on the show with me, Grace Samuel. Hi, Grace. Welcome to the show. Yeah, so I believe this show will be very informative and educative. I believe you learn a lot from this show. We are doing this for established or existing PMs and also those that want to transition into the product management role. We are discussing about product management, right? And a lot of times people ask me, what do you do? I tell them that I'm a product manager and they don't understand it. They don't know what product management is. It's so difficult for them to understand. So maybe I should give you, the way I explain it to them is that what I do is synonymous to an architect, right? So what an architect is to building, the building process is what I do in tech. Right? So the architects will draw the plan, will gather the requirements, the specification, everything is about, that's what the architects will do, right? And you also go to that execution phase, manage the whole process, the building engineers and all of that. It has to be there all through the building process till the building is delivered. Even after the building is delivered, it still has to carry out like a post-mortem. So, that's the way I explain it to people. I can't explain it in any other way. So to you, let me start from you, Kemi. How do you define product management? What is product management to you?
Well, I think product management is an art. Basically,
Okay.
When I tell my friends like what do I do, I say basically, I am that person that would help you. I am the final piece to a puzzle, or before the puzzle is built. Because if you think about it as a puzzle, like when you put in the final piece, then the puzzle is done. But in this case, think about before you have the puzzle. If your puzzle pieces are not complete, you can't start the process. So I think about myself as that's most important piece of your puzzle. So basically, and if I can do that for you, if I can get you all the pieces and we can start building, then you have your product. That's how I think about it, and that's how I tell my friends in plain English.
It's impossible. Okay.
Makes it possible before you even start.
Before you even start.
Yes. Because if you think about puzzle, and you can think, okay, project manager, but then before the whole thing is done.
That sounds interesting. Grace, I know you have years of experience in product management.
Yes.
I know you have years of experience. I think I should say this. Grace actually gave me the platform to become a PM.
And Grace was my instructor too.
You see, so she's our senior.
Yes, we're looking at you like, please. I feel like this is a setup.
No, it isn't. It isn't. So to you, how do you define product management? I know you have a concept of product management. I know you are a product coach. You have a lot of course, I'm one of your mentees. I'm proud. I'm very proud. So how do you define product management? What is product management to you? Just let us hear.
Textbook.
No, not textbook, but I'm even coming there, but what is product management? How do you define product management?
Okay, so let me imagine I'm talking when I told my dad what I did.
Okay.
Any other person.
I think I'm eager.
Oh yeah. So I told my dad, I said, oh, you know how you're interacting with WhatsApp and Facebook? And I said, there's somebody that was in charge of that. That's what I do. And then when I'm teaching my students what product management is, even though I have a textbook version on slides, I tell them to think about it. You want to have a baby. Now that baby is your product, because right from the very beginning, whether you're building an app or it's a hardware or anything, you being product manager, you're the mother of that child.
Yeah, sure.
So when you said that you want to have this baby, that conception, that idea. It's from that moment when you decide, I want to have this baby, or you want to help someone have a baby. So from that moment till when the baby is conceived, the idea is formed, you are defining the idea, you realize you're now pregnant, and then it's like 9 months, that planning phase, you're planning for your baby. When your baby gets born into the world, then you know that's when the app is launched. And like, oh my God, the baby is born. But then throughout the entire baby's life, you still have to be there from when they take their first step to when they go to school, they graduate, they even get married. But then this is the part that many PMs are not ready for when the child dies. Product management is the entire journey, actually.
You know, I think it's Plato or Aristotle that says learning, it defined education as learning from cradle to grave, right? So we should, what I can pick from that is that it's not about, oh, I launched the product and it's doing well, you know. And you know, in time past, I was thinking about this few months back, and I was saying to myself, why don't we have a standard definition for product management? Just like economics, there's one definition across, you know. So why is it that we don't have? Is it because I know that we don't have institutions? I mean, like universities that study, that have product management as a course. I think with the exception of Harvard, I'm not too sure, but so is there a reason behind it? Is it because product management is still, I don't know, it's not young. I did history of product management and how it's evolved from brand management and all of that, you know. So Grace, will you say it is because, what is the reason? I'm trying hard to understand.
So
what is the reason?
I think it's the fact that it was never a topic to be researched on. So in science, you research on the cell, you know why it's cell, it comes to cell, their tissues, their organs, and everything. I think it's because there's really no consistent body of work in terms of let's research what product management is about. Like you give the example of economics. Someone has done like proper research, if you've written thesis upon what economics is, how it impacts companies and all of these things. But for product management, this term barely existed 2 decades. So it can't, like even the technology, nobody thought that me being able to do a video call with somebody would be something that would happen. Maybe people had an idea that in the future it would be possible, but now we can do video calls. At some point, I won't be shocked if people can really disappear and appear. But it's not like it was not studied in, like it's not something that people invested time in saying this might be a field called product management. So let's give theories and laws that apply to it. So it's something that has evolved over time because we have come into that phase in our lives that many people didn't prepare for actually.
Okay, now we've trashed product management. Who is a product manager? Kemi, you are a product manager. Okay, you are a product manager. Okay. Who is a product manager? We know what product management is. So a product manager will do product management.
Yes.
Abby?
Yes.
So who is a product manager? Who is a product manager?
You know, I would say that a product manager is an influencer. I just want to let me just
like those guys on Twitter, right?
Just hear me out for a sec, because they always say that product managers are mini CEOs of products, but I feel like it's a myth because at the end of the day, you don't have authority. Yes, all you can do is influence people. So now you're influencing the CEO to listen to you. You're influencing the engineer, because sometimes engineers believe that they do know what they know everything. So a product manager is someone that is able to carry along different arms of the business to achieve the goal that has been set by the company or the strategy for that particular quarter. Basically, that's how I put it.
Thank you. I think that is clear enough. I think it is. But there are skills that you need that is required of an individual, right? If you are an accountant, there are skills that it is a must, you must have those skills. So, you know, a lot of people say on their CV, communication skills. I mean, so for PMs, what are the skills that you must? It is a must. You must have them. You can't do without them. It is those skills that will help you excel as a PM, as a product manager. So can you mention some of those skills? I know we might not be able to analyze them today, but yes. So maybe Kemi will help us with some as well.
I would steal one from Grace.
Before she...
When you talk about storytelling, that's my goal. And Grace has knocked it out of the park. She tells stories like... when you talk about communication skills, it's just like, oh, I'm talking to you. But it's so much more than that. You need to communicate when you're writing. Speaking is even easy, even though it's still not easy when you think about PMing and all of that. But then even writing, someone should be able to read what you just wrote and like in 3 lines, person understands what you're saying. It's a skill. And you have to like just grasp at it at a moment. You have to figure out how you can get to that point where in 2 lines you can actually communicate properly and they understand you.
True. Very true.
Yeah, I think very true.
We're trying to get there. No, Grace is like...
I would think again, this is a setup. But yes, I totally agree. Effective communication is of different lengths. But I'll leave it as what you said, effective communication.
Respect.
But then the writing part in terms of documentation. Imagine you saying that a product manager is that person from start to finish of a product. Obviously, except you can actually see consistent growth in your company, at some point you will leave. And what you leave behind is proper documentation. If you can't do that in such a way that when someone comes, they don't need you to come back and explain.
And that is actually a major problem.
It's a core skill that product managers say, I'm handing over, I should do it in such a way that anybody that comes will just pick it up. Maybe 1 or 2 phone calls to say, okay, this is what happened. But I should be able to read in details to see that this is what this product we're supposed to do, this is where we're headed and things like that. So in terms of where we're headed, road mapping is another thing. So another skill that
a lot of people run from road mapping. A lot of PMs.
You can't run away from
it. A lot of PMs. They don't want to do it.
If you're saying from start to finish, we need to know where we're going to be in the next 3 months, next 6 months.
That vision has to be clear.
It has to be very clear. Wireframing is another one. You need some people say, okay, we'll hire a designer for that. Sometimes designer is waiting for the wireframe.
Yes.
So if you don't read the wireframe, I'm not sure what you want me to prototype for you. So yes, I know that even for me as a PM, before we got to this level where we now have product manager, product analyst, product designer, engineer, there was a period in my life where I did not write user stories. User stories is another skill, I did not write user stories because I knew my engineers would not read user stories. What they would like is wireframes. So I had to do every page of a wireframe. It was running to 150 pages. Tosin can remember. Like people carried it like a manual.
Like a manual. Bulky.
Yes. I had to do every single page. When you click this, it goes here, it goes here. And that was what I used to get consensus with everybody in the company. CEO, business, engineer, project manager, everybody knew that this is what we are building. And it solved a lot of problems. Because even the designers, they probably did not know that was the scope of the product, but seeing the wireframe, like, okay, this is over, getting an idea. So even when designers are trying to put the front end together, the engineers already know what to start coding on the back end. That wireframe was like our Bible. So there are a couple of other skills that product managers would have. Very analytical.
Because you can't run away from data. You can't run away from
customer research. Listening to your customers.
You have to love them.
You have to. No. Someone. I saw a tweet online asking, say you are a product manager without saying product manager. And I actually responded, Chief Problem Officer and Associate Customer. Because that's the truth. You are solving everybody's problems, but you are representing the customer in the company. So if you don't understand your customer, it's definitely going to be a problem.
Yes, true. So, I mean, if you don't understand your customer because, I don't know, what do you even want to build? Who are you building it for?
High five.
Seriously, if you don't, that's why I said love, because something you have to be empathetic towards the person. If you don't love them, at least you can be empathetic towards the customer, because these are the only things that can help you actually solve the customer's problem. It's one thing to just say, okay, we are doing this for this person, but who is the customer that's going to use it? Are you really solving the need for the customer? So if you're not thinking about that, I agree with what both of you have said. It's really important.
It's really important, but there's something in all of this, product management, who PMs are, the skills you need to. You find out that you move from one organization to another organization, I mean tech firms. And I don't know. I don't know if it is a problem. I don't know if it is just normal. The way they translate or interpret the role is different. I am sure, Kemi, where you are now.
When I was about to say something, and you said something about product management 2 decades ago, and there was no product management. But the thing is, a lot of people were already doing product management without realizing that they were product management.
Number one.
So, and they were doing it in different capacities.
Yeah,
I think that's the reason why we don't have like a proper definition for product management. So you go to one company, where I was before, and I was always chasing bugs. And that was it. And then they need to.
You're always chasing what?
Bugs.
Bugs.
It was always bugs every day. And sometimes people will come to me and say, "This is it. You have to do this," and I'm like, "This is not my job. This is not what I'm supposed to be doing." But then you do it. You go to another person, they're like, "You have to think about. You have to pull data for this. All you care about is data. This, data, this, data, that." You go somewhere and the person is like, "When am I going to have this? We are starting today. Tell me when you're going to finish." And I'm like, "I'm not your project manager." But then, okay. So I think it's different because everybody has different goals. If you think about it.
But do you really think it's a problem for product managers? Because the reason why I'm asking this question is that sometimes you see job adverts and you see job descriptions and you are scared. You are like, can I do this? 4 years in product management, I've not done anything close to this. Now, the way these people interpret the role, what they are requesting for, I don't think I can give it. But you're a PM. Does that make you a bad PM?
No,
I don't think so.
I actually tell people this thing. Truth of the matter is that sometimes, and I can't blame them, it's the fact that they've never had the role. So if they say, if the CEO comes or the company says, hire me a product manager, the HR will be like, okay, Google job description. Like they just copy and paste the job description without actually getting like a good knowledge as of what are you expecting this person to do. Now you would hire this person and the person would come in confused because what you wrote on the JD is not what the
totally
CEO
different.
was expecting of a product manager. Now another problem we have in this side of the world is when you're a business-led organization, you'll be doing everything. But if you're in a product-led, and when I say business-led, product-led organizations are those companies that exist because of the product.
Yeah.
So for example, WhatsApp. Once WhatsApp crashes, everybody in WhatsApp goes go. Because the reason why they employed is WhatsApp, the app.
Yeah.
But if you go into a typical startup where the CEO has amazing ideas per second, everybody's building the product. Like all the amazing ideas are being built at the same time.
Idea or nothing.
So imagine a product manager for a product-led company and a business-led company. Who do you think will have more focus as to what is expected of them? So now you join a business-led organization and then one of the products is at the ideation phase. Another product is on the launch phase. Another product is in the market, but it looks like it's about to die because you don't have a client for it anymore. So you realize that you're doing a lot of things at the same time. And again, sadly, when people say we want a product owner, they probably need a product manager. When they want a product manager, they probably need a product owner. So that confusion that has not been clarified because people just say, okay, product management is hot now.
Yes.
So all of that has to be clearly spelled out. I feel like maybe at some point we'll just have to say, okay, all the founders in tech, can we come together and talk about this?
You know, a friend of mine, a colleague actually in the office, a few weeks back, I think about 2 weeks ago, said what we have in Nigeria is we have tech shops And we have just few tech firms. That's the tech firms, they are about maybe 1.5%.
Wow.
And the tech shops, they don't actually know about tech. But they want to do tech because it is the hot cake.
Well, at some point, every company has to move towards tech because it has to be done properly.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with companies come together and say they want to start something tech-wise, they want to build something. There's really no problem about it, but make sure you're hiring the right person for the right job.
Well, we'll come to that another day because we can keep talking about how you your role, how they interpret it. You look at your developers. We'll look at that another day. That is another story. Another conversation entirely. We've come to the end of the show today. I trust you've learned a whole lot of things about product management and product managers. We'll be back on the show next week, but if you have not subscribed to this channel, click the button below and click the thumbs up to give our video a like. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye. Bye.